So I am Tami, Forte Logan. I am the pastor of Forte Chapel AME Zion Church in Old Fort. I'm also the lead organizer for Faith for Justice Asheville, which is a coalition of the ecumenical coalition of faith leaders and clergy who are committed to provoking justice for Black and brown-bodied people, and we do that through discernment and advocacy, and really providing a ministry, a presence for impacted communities. So that's that part. And I'm also the equity missioner for collaboration between All Souls and Grace Covenant Presbyterian Church. So that looks a number of different ways, but I try to show up. I do processes with groups, mostly leadership in those two congregations. Just recently did a training on race and religion. Not sure where we're going in the next phase of this, but just kind of following the lead of the people in the congregations. Well, I think like most groups, whether they're churches or nonprofits or foundations, whomever they are, and they're engaging in racial equity work and really looking explicitly at white supremacy and anti-Blackness in their culture, folks always think they're further along than they really are, which is okay. But it's good to have that zeal in the beginning, and then as it unfolds to take the opportunity to go deeper with each other and to be honest about where we really are in this work. Do a lot of deep personal reflection and do collective reflection as a body. So I found that to be really invigorating as an equity practitioner, to see these two congregations wrestle with what it means to really have equity in your congregation, and to wrestle with the tenets of white supremacy that we're all so steeped in, and like genuinely trying to work through that. So it's been invigorating for me, and I've seen these little glimpses of transformation with individuals, and gradually I believe culture as a whole will shift. So it takes time, because it took a lot of time to get here.
Sure.
So yeah. I think it's the commitment of people who have stepped up as a leadership, particularly in these two congregations, that they keep working at it. You know, they've realized they've not arrived, they have work to do, and they're willing to do the work. And so when people are willing to do their own personal reflection in this work, and to relate it to their relationship to God and humanity, that encourages me to keep doing it. When I hit the walls of resistance, and that's not me, or that's not us, I know the defensiveness, when that's kind of ongoing. I mean, it's expected, and you're going to hit it at different levels, but I don't find that here in a constant state, like it comes and goes. And that's just part of the wrestle. That's part of the work. It's part of it, it's like experiencing grief, the different stages of grief, and the shock and disbelief always shows up in this work, and it is something to grieve about. So, but eventually people will awaken, and you begin to see the transformation happen. And I've seen that with Faith for Justice, but I've been doing that for 2 years. So it took you 2 years to kind of see that transformation with that group of clergy. And so we just really have started that in these two congregations explicitly. And so it's going to take time, but I'm encouraged. I think listening to the stories of leadership, and as leadership becomes more open and vulnerable with the congregation, especially about their missteps, especially about what was hard for them, or what challenged them, or what they may have even shut out. Like if they're just really honest about their own journey, that's going to it's going to embolden the congregation to start leaning into this process, and it's going to give them permission to not do it perfectly, and to really dive deeply into their own personal journey toward equity. So I think it would be the Genesis passage. I want to say it's 1 and 26. I may not be exactly right where the location, but it's Genesis. It's in the beginning, where God talks about humanity being made in the image and likeness of God. And I think if we begin to really internalize that concept that we are a reflection of God, that we are made, all of us, in God's image and likeness, that if we can get that, like with all our nuance and all our difference and all our just different traits and personalities and just all of the above, if we can recognize that we actually do reflect our Creator, that we won't have as many problems being in relationship with each other. So for me, that's kind of the basic premise for this work, is seeing each other in the image of God. If we can do that, then that's half the battle. No, I think I just want to appreciate this congregation as well as Grace Covenant and other churches who are embarking on this journey, because I really believe that until we do this really hard work, that we're really never going to embody the body of Christ. Like, we won't really understand what it is and how it feels until we take these risks to do this work. And so I really want to appreciate the leadership of this congregation for stepping out there, and doing what many people are afraid to do, and many people won't do. So yeah, I just want to appreciate you all.